Welcome inside the booth here at Gary Keller Stadium, where the Westfield Blue Devils look to continue their success, ranked 12th in the state, 8-0 on the season, and on a 21-game win streak, hosting the Bayonne Bees, who are 4-5 here in the first round of the state playoffs. Michael Leonard alongside Chris Witzel. And Chris, how does this Westfield team continue their success today?
Mike, we got to get the defense going early and have Phil Martini and this Westfield offense score early. Last week, Westfield went on to beat Scotch Plains 46-7 behind new running backs Stevie Barden and Jacob Valabera, along with Phil Martini having 2 touchdowns, one being probably the most entertaining one of the year, Mike. But also, this Westfield defense is going to have a much easier job today with Harris Barrett out for the season, which is Bayonne's top rusher and probably their best player. He had 1,345 yards rushing, and that was about half for Bayonne's rushing, Mike.
Yeah, huge loss for Bayonne, and their quarterback's definitely going to need to step up in the sophomore McNair, along with the backup running back.
Yeah, Mike, Nazir McNair, he only has 245 yards passing on the season, and so far, I mean, that's just abysmal. He's got to get the job done, Mike, today.
Kickoff at 1 o'clock, coming right up here on BDTV.
Westfield Blue Devils!
Welcome to Gary Keller Stadium, everybody, for the first round of the NJSIAA playoff state tournament. The Westfield Blue Devils 8-0 on the season, taking on the 4-5 Bayonne Bees. Michael Leonard alongside Chris Witzel for today's state playoff game. Westfield won the toss, but will defer as Mike Moriarty kicks this thing off as we get started here. 1 o'clock kickoff. And we are underway for playoff football. Taken back around the 5. And a big hit on that far side. Good coverage from Westfield's special teams unit. Kyle Dombrowski getting in there with the tackle. Senior having a big time year, playing on all 3 sides of the ball, at tight end, defensive end, punter, and on kickoff.
Yeah, Mike, and when we see Kyle Dombrowski on offense, we see him deliver a huge block, and on kickoff we see him deliver huge hits, defense, sacks. He can just do it all, Mike, and he's just having a great senior campaign.
So the sophomore Nasir McNair, the quarterback for this Bayonne Bees team. And Chris, they're missing their best player, the starting running back, Alhanis Barrett.
Yeah, Mike, he was an explosive back. He could do it all. And he had 1,300 yards rushing on the season, as I stated before. But now this Bayonne Bees offense, they have to find another way to get the ball moving down the field.
McNair on the keeper, Drew Ortiz with a stop. Brings it to 2nd and 3 here.
And, Mike, this season, Nazir McNair, he only has 245 yards passing. So this just shows that this Bayonne offense is composed of running the football. And since they lost their best back, it's going to be hard to see whether they're going to throw it or pass it throughout this game.
Bayonne keeps it on the run and quickly brought down by Connor Scanlon.
Yeah, Mike, Connor Scanlon, he's been playing for the junior Joe Sangiacomo in outside linebacker. He's been getting the job done. He already has an interception this season, and last week he delivered a huge hit on for the special teams unit of Westfield against Scotch Plains, and there he delivers another big one, bringing up 3rd and 1 for this Westfield defense and this Bayonne offense.
Usual front 4 for Westfield with Jeff Gagum, Owen Kessler, Nick Marr, and Jake Valabera. Stevie Barden, Adam McDaniel playing corner with Ben Kelly back at safety, and Shea Elliott, Drew Ortiz, Joe Sangiacomo, Jacob Dayon make up that linebacking crew as that ball was snapped, and Westfield looks like they recovered, and they have.
Mike, great defensive stop there by Westfield, getting the job done, getting the ball back early, and this is what the Westfield defense is composed of, Mike. Pinning their opponents back deep, And now they're stopping them at, let's say, the Bayonne's 10-yard line. Drew Ortiz with the recovery. Great field position for the Westfield offense. And Mike, now we'll see Wandre House, the junior's first start this season after coming back from a broken collarbone in there at running back. And with Ishmael Glasgow for the season, we saw Stevie Barden and Jake Valabera in there last week. They got the job done along with Anthony Nabella, but now Wandre House, the true running back. Let's see if he can get the job done.
And House gets the carry to the left side for a few yards. Just got the news this past week that senior Ish Glasgow out for the season, ending his high school football career. And Chris, he was having an awesome year ever since the original starter, Matt Verano, went down with injury. Glasgow over 500 rushing yards, about 6 or 7 rushing touchdowns. And returning, had 2 pick sixes, had a kickoff return, was just doing everything. Got hurt in the Immaculata game, and now out for the season as Jake Valabera gets the carry, spins around and brought down by about 5 white shirts.
And yeah, Mike, we saw Ishmael Glasgow backing up Matt Verano. We're thinking, oh, he's going to get some carries, not too much. But when Verano got hurt, we saw him have a breakout season. But now that he's injured, we have to see some of the youngsters on this team in the names of Jake Val, Stevie Barden, and Wandre House step up and get the job done for these 2 senior veterans.
Val gets the pitch to the right, and he just walks in the end zone for the first score of the day. Jake Valabera, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in the past 2 weeks, and Westfield has yet to trail this season in their week 9.
Yeah, Mike, that's unbelievable. They're scoring first and scoring off, and that's the mentality you want to have. And there, Mike, Jake Valabera, he literally walked into the end zone, stopped it around the 1-yard line, just stuck the ball out. It was just so simple for him. Great blocking up front. Today, Fran Allegro, the junior lineman, is out today with a concussion. We'll see Jordan Barham filling his spot, and this offensive line is one of the reasons why Westfield's so good. Blocking is perfection, and that's why they're leading 7-0 already, Mike.
So Westfield couldn't have asked for a better first 3 minutes here. Their defense comes up with the stop, and then just a poor snap by Bayonne, and Westfield falls on top of it, and they just run it in on 3 plays for the score. And it's just been the story of the season, Chris. They get off to such a good start, and the other team has, early on, just no chance of coming back, usually.
Yeah, Mike. I mean, they're just getting it done on all cylinders, all sides of the ball. They just can't be stopped.
So McNair returns this one out to about the 24-yard line where he's met.
And Mike, let's see if this Westfield defense get the job done again.
Peyton Schlua comes up with a stop. So the 5'11", 170-pound sophomore quarterback, Nasir McNair. And we talked about he's only under 300 yards according to Max Preps on the season, so just does not throw the ball a lot, this Bayonne team, because they a run-heavy team. McNair himself has 675 yards rushing on the season. And as we said earlier, the star of this Bayonne team is no longer a part of the team. Their senior running back, Alhanis Barrett, had 1,350 yards rushing through 9 games, and McNair on the keep doesn't get much, about 2-3 yards. Senior Owen Kessler on the stop.
And yeah, Mike, going to the stat list right here, their top 3 rushers have over 300 yards rushing, so that just shows that they can run the football efficiently and get the job done. They all have over 8.5 yards per carry. Each of them have at least 1 touchdown, but Barrett, he had 11. Unsure why he decided to drop out, Mike, but I'm not too sure. But McNair, he has 5 touchdowns on the season. Let's see if we can add to that stat sheet today, Mike. But right now things aren't going Bayonne's way as it's a 2nd and 7, but that costly fumble earlier in the game.
Man in motion, McNair. The lefty rolls to his right and pass complete for a Bayonne first down to Jason Whittle, the junior. So the first down for the Bees. Jason Whittle only had 2 receptions prior to that catch right there. Only his 3rd of the season. Now puts him at 60 yards on the year. And Westfield, if they win today, they'll take on Union, the 6th seed in the Group 5 North 2, after the Farmers upset the 3 seed Ridge last night in overtime.
Huge hit there, Mike, by Kessler. He's just having an outstanding season. Mike, he already has 12 sacks, leading tackler with, I believe, 55 plus. He's just having an outstanding season. This is why he's the captain, Mike, and that's another reason why Westfield's on this 21-game win streak.
So shotgun for Bayonne with 2 receivers on the near side. Again, it's Davila in motion, and McNair just throws that one out of bounds over Davila's head, under pressure.
That was great pressure by Jacob Dayon. He was a little blocked to the outside, but almost got a hand on that football. McNair couldn't really do anything on that one. Mike just throws it away. It just shows how Westfield is so composed on defense, not going for the pump fake, not going for the fake draw. Just staying home, defending the person that they're on, and they're just getting the job done, Mike. And it just proves, because Westfield last week only gave up 1 touchdown, week before against Immaculata only 2. And this season, Mike, they haven't given up over 21 points in a single game.
Might be the first time they faced a lefty quarterback this season. Not the first time we've seen a dual quarterback, and they'll see one next week with Justin Beckett of Union. And good stop right there by Drew Ortiz, along with Jake Dayon.
Mike, Drew Ortiz is having an outstanding season. Earlier in the season, he was the leading tackler, but Owen Kessler, he went on that tear. He beat him out for it, but still, Drew Ortiz is only a junior, and he has so much more room for improvement, but he's also had so much experience playing on this Westfield defensive unit. And next season, he's just going to be bigger and stronger, Mike, and that's why Westfield is predicted to have another great season next year.
4th and 9, but we have a illegal substitution on Bayonne. We'll move them back 5 yards to make it 4th and 14. Jack Shirk, the senior wide receiver and punt returner, back at Westfield's 40-yard line.
Not too deep, Mike.
He's had some nice returns the past few weeks and throughout his senior campaign. Westfield blocked a punt last week, not right there, but a short kick. And they'll be dead at the Westfield 43, where we get to see the senior Phil Martini take over for the 2nd drive of the ball game for Westfield.
And Mike, last week, Phil Martini only threw the ball 13 times. That's the lowest he's done it all season. Westfield also ran the ball, and that's about 26 times. Last week they beat Scotch Plains 46-7. It just shows that their defense played a huge role in that game, pinning Scotch Plains back deep in their own territory, even getting a safety of their own, Mike. But this week, Phil Martini, let's see if he can get those stats number a little bit higher, throwing the ball a few more times, and also let's see if Westfield can run the ball a few more times as well.
High snap, House in the backfield gets the carry out of the shotgun for a gain of about 5 yards. Martini with 17 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns on the year, and he has 1,180 yards passing, 88 of 139. And the top 2 receivers for Westfield, the pair of seniors, Mike Moriarty, number 10, and Jack Shirk. Moriarty in motion gets the ball on this end around. We've seen it, and he picks up the first down. He would have had more, just tripped up there.
And he's hurt, Mike, and he's grabbing onto that right knee, and that's not a good sign. Mike Moriarty, he was top receiver, and Mike, he's in excruciating pain, as we can see from here. And that is just going to be another huge loss for Westfield. I mean, another senior, an outstanding season, best kicker on this roster, one of the best receivers. Oh, just a shame, Mike. He's having such a great season.
Blue Devils really getting beat up with injuries, losing their 2 starting running backs. And you just hope this isn't too bad. Obviously, before the season even started, Kyle Shirk, brother of Jack, who was supposed to start at corner, goes down with injury, misses the whole year. Backup fullback Jacob Obsgarden still out.
And Mike, on that run play, he had everything open field. He was on his way to a touchdown, and you just saw him getting tripped up. Luckily, he's up on his feet, hopping though. I just hope he's all right.
Not putting any pressure on that right foot, as the trainers will help him off the field.
Now we'll see Thomas Fusillo, backup wide receiver, the senior. He's gotten some playing time this season, Mike, but
not really in a close game though. Adam McDaniel also checks in, number 20 on the far side. And Kyle Dombrowski lined up on the near side. Martini out of the shotgun, rolls to his left, and Jack Shirk just couldn't grab that one, incomplete.
2nd down and 10.
Second and 10 with 5.5 left here in the first quarter. Westfield up 7-0. As Facillo just comes out. Kaplan in the backfield along with Wandre House. And Chris, if we see Westfield score or attempt that field goal, it'll probably be Aiden Bolin. House gets the carry up the middle for a few yards.
And yeah, Mike, Aiden Boland, we've seen him get in a few times this season just to punt the ball, not really to kick, because that's been more yardage job the entire season. But now we see Boland getting warm on the sideline, stretching out his legs. Because if Westfield scores, he'll be the one kicking the field goals, and he'll probably be the one kicking the ball down the field during a kickoff.
Rashid Koh, the senior defensive end, comes up with the stop for Bayonne. Third and 5 for Westfield. Martini off the play action, fakes and finds Kaplan for a first down inside the 20. Big play right there.
Yeah, Mike, that's the bounce back play you need after the Moriarty injury. Best receivers down, go to another one, and right there Kaplan got the job done. Picked up about 15 yards on the play, Mike, maybe a little more. And Westfield's rolling right now after being a first down, basically inside the red zone at the 20. See if they can punch it in these next few plays.
Martini, one step and throws to Adam McDaniel. Gain of 8. This is to make it 2nd and short. There you see Ish Glasgow on the near sideline. On crutches as House gets the carry to the right and just pushed out. But there is a flag after House picks up the first down. Ball down at about the 2.
Could be unnecessary roughness on the defense, Mike, after maybe a late hit.
Marcus Manning and Efrain Davila III come up with a stop. Penalty was on Bayonne.
It's going to move the ball about another yard or so, Mike. So
just makes it 1st and goal from the 1.
See Val back in the backfield, Mike. We'll see if they can punch it in with him. Did that last time. Why not do it again?
There's the pitch. And Valabera this time is met at the 1 yard line.
Stop short down to the 1 yard line.
Usually we see Val with just no effort needed, just walk in there. This time Bayonne's defense comes up with a stop. Moriarty walking on his own power now, but still in some pain, limping a little bit. Val gets a carry up the middle with the push from the offensive line, and he's in.
Like, he just put on the Jets right there, the little extra strength, and that's all he needed.
They still haven't signaled, actually. But it is a touchdown. So Jake Val with now 4 rushing touchdowns, all of 2 yards or less in the past 2 weeks.
And I'm like, now we will see Aiden Boland try to kick the extra PAT. And hopefully, as we said before, we saw Moriarty walking around. Hopefully he'll be back soon. But right now it's Aiden's turn to show what he's got.
McCauley will snap, Jack Shirk will hold, and the junior, Aiden Boland with the extra point. But it's wide right, no good. So there you see right, no Mike Moriarty, and Westfield with a little bit of a issue as their backup kicker can't connect the extra point. So 13-0 Westfield.
I'm like, with 3:38 left to go in the first quarter, this game's been pretty slow, Mike, but Westfield's at 13-0 lead. Mostly because of both their offense and defense just getting the job done. But with that costly injury on Mike Moriarty, let's see if this offense can bounce back. We saw them do it there, but in the long term, will it affect this Westfield offense? We'll just see how this game plays out.
And now Bowen will kick this one off. We've seen the junior Peyton Schluter now make a couple nice tackles past few weeks on kickoffs. And as you said earlier, Chris, Ferran Allegro not playing today. Kick from Bowen, return at the 15 by Davila. And he's met by Elliot Dombrowski and San Giacomo.
Jay Elliott on the tackle. San Giacomo and Dombrowski as well. First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
So Bayonne's offense comes out for their 3rd drive of the game. And just a recurring theme, Chris, these opposing offenses just cannot get anything going. We did see Bayonne get one first down that last drive, and compared to most teams this season, that's pretty good.
Yeah, like especially in their first 2 possessions, Westfield usually shuts them down and shuts them down early. They usually get their points during garbage time. And
McNair takes a shot down the field, but way over the head of intended receiver Jason Whittle. Under some pressure there too. Maybe force a throw out to make it 2nd and 10. Now the crowd's starting to fill up here.
Yeah, Mike.
A little bit of a late arriving crowd.
First round of states, everyone wants to be here. Even teachers from Westfield High School. Everyone's here to support the Blue Devils.
DeVee in motion. They run it up the middle. Drew Ortiz there and throws number 24, Marcus Manning, to the floor. Good play by Ortiz.
Drew Ortiz showing his strength. Like as I said before, he has room to improve, but he has also room to get bigger and stronger. He's already pretty big, Mike, and as we've seen this season, he's very strong, but next season he's probably going to come back bigger, better. But he's just having a great junior season, and he's probably in a candidacy for captain next year with the way he's played this year.
So the Bees take a timeout. Westfield up 13-0 late in the first quarter as we step aside here on BDTV. Welcome back to Gary Keller Stadium. Blue Devils up 13-0 in the first round of the Group 5 North 2 state playoffs. The winner will meet up next week with the Union Farmers. Westfield will host that game if they continue this lead and hold on to it. McNair's pass down the field incomplete.
Mike, you can kind of see some of the inexperience there from McNair. Past two passes you throw them were kind of way off target. First one way over the head, that time way right. Also, it's because he's not throwing the ball too much this season. He only has 245 yards passing, along with only 35 attempts. That's basically nothing, Mike. That's how many times Westfield throws the ball in 2 games, let alone 9 or 8, my mistake. You can just pretty much see the inexperience in this very young quarterback.
And that punt is blocked by Owen Kessler. Picked up by Jake Dayon for a Westfield touchdown.
Mike, what a play by the Westfield special teams unit. Adam McDaniel, Jake Val, Kyle Dombrowski in on the punt block. Jacob Dayon picks up the ball. First touchdown as a varsity player. What a play, Mike, all around.
Big turn of events right there, and Westfield breaks this thing open at 19-0.
That was their first legitimate block of the season. Every other time was a little tip drill, but right there, everyone in on that play, blocks it straight down. Dayon picks up the ball, off to the races. Reservations for 6, Mike. And if Aiden Bolin nails his extra point to make it 20-0.
And this time, Bolin's extra point is good to make it 20-0. That'll get these fans excited. And basically, Chris, 8 of these 9 weeks, it's been Westfield's taking control early, and they just haven't looked back. They've kept the foot on the pedal and just been 8 blowouts. The only one that was close was that away Friday night game at Elizabeth, where it was scoreless the entire first half, and then Westfield goes up 13-0. Elizabeth gets a late touchdown.
Yeah,
the Minutemen actually, they advanced. They're the 5 seed. They beat East Orange, and they had no problem winning 42-13. And on the other side of the bracket, Bridgewater Raritan, who Westfield beat last year in the state title, killed Columbia 42-0. As Bolin sends this one off to the 10, DeVee on the return. Gets a block here on the near side, where he's brought down by Connor Scanlon and Owen Kessler.
Mike, Owen Kessler is running down that field. He straight up leveled that blocking the defender from Bayonne. He made the tackle on that play. I mean, if I saw Owen Kessler coming on the field, Mike, my first instinct, of course, would be to block him, but second, get the heck out of the way. It's like a freight train coming right at you.
So now the Bees try to regroup, down by 20. They just had their punt blocked, and earlier they had the poor snap, which resulted in a turnover, and Westfield recovered it inside the red zone. They keep it on the ground here, but nowhere to go. Jake Dayon, first defender there.
Dayon and Kelly there for the tackle.
And Mike, going back to the Michael Moriarty injury, I don't see him on the trainer's table. They probably took him into the locker room to get examined. We saw him holding onto that right knee. Worst case scenario, it's an ACL tear, but hopefully it's not. We saw him walking around, and that's kind of hard to do when you tear your ACL. Let's just hope it's a minor tweak, and he'll be back in there in no time, or just take the game off and get back in there next week.
So second down, and somehow they got out of that. McNair on the keep.
Mike, this Bayonne offense is just composed of a few misdirections and trick plays with a lot of motion men. And right now, Westfield is just containing them and getting the job done. We've only seen them get 1 first down all day.
3rd and 3 for this Bees offense. Minute and change left here in the opening quarter. Third and 3, Bayonne in the wing T offense that they like to run. Davia on the carry, and he is met and brought down short of the first down.
And Mike,
Drew Ortiz, Jake Dayon, along with Ben Kelly.
Ben Kelly playing at safety, as I stated many times before. He just gets that head start. He has all that room to gain momentum and make the tackle. That's why he's getting all these huge hits, and it's just really helping this Westfield defense get into it, getting into the game, getting them pumped up. Just having a player like that on your team is really good for your team base.
That brings an end to the first quarter here in Westfield. An entertaining one for the Blue Devils as Jake Val scores 2 rushing touchdowns of short yardage, and then a big block punt, and Jacob Dayon recovers it and takes it to the house. Mike Moriarty goes down with injury. That's the storyline of the first quarter. We'll be right back. You're watching New Jersey High School football here on BDTV. So 4th down for Bayonne as second quarter gets started. Pretty good punt here as Shirk has to back up, returns it from the 37, makes a couple nice moves, and just tripped up shy of midfield, excuse me.
To the 47-yard line. First and 10 Westfield.
So Mike, Westfield offense got to rest up a little bit more after not going onto the field after the pump block 2 possessions ago, but back out there again. We see Shirk and Fusillo out there with Wandre House in the backfield with Jacob Kaplan. So it looks like they're trying to put Fusillo, the more experienced player out there for McDaniel, with Moriarty out with the injury.
Martini looking for Shirk down the field. Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete, intended for Shirk.
Almost caught right there. Good throw by Martini.
Second down and 10.
Shirk had to turn around though.
Mike, it was a good back shoulder pass, just a little overthrown. But the way Westfield's going on offense, Mike, I'm pretty sure that little hiccup won't really cause too much damage.
We haven't really seen Westfield go deep since on the through the air since that Ridge game where they threw like 3 different 50-yard touchdowns to Moriarty and Shirk.
Yeah, Mike, Phil Martini had a field day that day.
House on the carry, breaks 1 tackle, and he's got room. Wandre House, 30, 20, 10, touchdown. Wandre House to the house to make it 26-0. The junior running back playing in his first game of the 2016 season and gets his first touchdown, a 47-yard run.
Mike, all I can say right there is wow. Wandre House's first game back coming off the injury. 47-yard touchdown with a great block there from Kyle Dombrowski. Welcome back, Wandre House.
And Bolin now on for his 3rd extra point of the day. Moriarty goes down, and Bolin immediately has a lot of work because Westfield loves to score. And Bolin now missed the first one, but he's got his momentum back as he makes his past 2 extra points. That one good. 27-0 now. And this thing's getting ugly.
I'm like, that was a misdirection run right there. Wandre Howe was supposed to go right, sees that there was a wall of Bayonne defenders, cuts it back left, and was off to the races. And that block by Kyle Dombrowski was the third one this season, which caused a touchdown for Westfield. First one was with Ishmael Glasgow, coming back in week 2 against Basking Ridge. And now here with Wandre House making it his third one of the season. It just shows the impact he has on this Westfield offense.
McNair and Davia in the return.
So Ballin boots this one, but play is blown dead as we have a flag.
Seems to be offsides against the kicking team. And that was thrown near the area of Stevie Barden, Peyton Schluit, and Shea Elliott.
It is offsides. So Westfield will just re-kick 5 yards back. This one will count. Again, it's Davia who's done all the returning today for Bayonne. And a pretty good return out near the 40. But then he's just leveled by Kyle Dombrowski. Having a good afternoon. The senior tight end and kick and punter, along with special teams unit, who just recently signed the letter of intent this past week to Denver University to play lacrosse.
I'm like, if he's silent for lacrosse and he's already amazing at football, I want to see what he can do with a lacrosse stick in his hand, Mike. Pretty sure he's a defensive player. He's already making big hits here, but on lacrosse field when it's much more open space, probably making even bigger hits there.
And that pass nearly intercepted by Jacob Dayon. He could have, if he held on to that, could have had 2 touchdowns today, a fumble return and a pick 6.
Yeah, Mike, that would have been an extraordinary sight to see, especially for him. Having 2 touchdowns in one game, both defensive and special units, nevertheless. Pretty sure he's mad at himself there, but can't really be mad about this way the game's gone.
Second and 10 with 11:17 left. There's the wing T, and McNair keeps it up the middle, sprinting, and he's hit from behind. Ball almost got knocked loose.
Yeah, we saw Stevie Barden go for the legs. That's usually where you want to go with a runner like McNair, just to try to bring him down or slow him down, which he did. And Ortiz getting in there, just making another great tackle.
Bees gained 6 on that, so 3rd and 4. Offense has just really struggled today. Only 1 first down on the afternoon. Came on the second drive. 3 receivers on the far side, ball in the near hash. Davia in motion. McNair is brought down by Nick Marr. The senior having an incredible campaign.
Yeah, Mike, all of the entire defensive line for Westfield is Kessler, Gagum, Marr, Dombrowski. Not going to mention Valaberry yet because he's only a junior, Mike, but he's also having a great season. But Nick Marr just got in there untouched. Didn't even look like anyone even tried to block him. And that's what happens when you have 4 great defensive linemen like that. You have to block one, but what are you going to do with the other one? And that's what happens. Tackle for a loss.
Shirk will return this from the 27. Up the middle for a nice gain of about 14 yards down near the 41, 42.
And like we see Wandre House going back out there after that amazing touchdown run. See if he can try to do it again. I mean, this game's going by pretty slow. We're only 2.5 minutes deep into the second quarter. And that's usually because of Westfield just getting all these stops, all these timeouts taken.
House gets the pitch and picks up nice yards right there. About 9 and knocked out of bounds on the near side. Late flag gets thrown in as we await this call. It is a hold on the offensive line of Westfield. So that'll bring back the run of Wandre House.
It's a pretty late flag for a hold there, Mike, wouldn't you say? It's thrown after the whistle was blown.
From the spot of the foul. The replay first down will be first and 11.
This Bayonne team started out the year 0-2. Then they won 4 straight games, beating Memorial, Dickinson, Kearney, and Eastside. But they've lost their last 3 to Union City, Bloomfield, and Livingston. And assuming they lose today, their season comes to an end. Wandre House showing his speed, making some nice moves as he picks up that yardage back.
And yeah, Mike, Wandre told me in school this week to watch out for him this weekend. And he's talking the talk right now, Mike. It's exactly what he's doing, having an outstanding game.
And walking the walk. As Westfield's got, even if they were to lose this game, which not likely, they still have the Thanksgiving game coming up at Plainfield this year. Always a fun one. And next week they'll host Union, assuming they hold on to this 27-point lead. That pitch to House on the right loses a couple yards. Marcus Manning, the junior linebacker at 5'8", 186 on the stop.
3rd and 3.
Jason Acera, the leader of this Bayonne football team. And his top assistants are Ian Proctor, Brandon Smith, and Jaron Lassini. For Westfield, obviously Jim DeSarno in his 11th season, coming off of the state championship season, as that'll be encroachment on Bayonne. DeSarno at 79 and 55 overall record at his time here in Westfield, and he's won the past 21 games. Looking for win number 80 today.
Mike, that'd be a great milestone to achieve. 80 wins through 11 seasons, that's pretty impressive. Especially when you're dealing with high school, because you have different grades coming and going. It's unlike the pros when you can sign kids or sign players, but here's an amazing milestone to achieve.
Wandre House, couple yards again.
Manning there on the tackle. Gain of 4 on the play, 2nd and 6.
Second and 6 with 7 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. All Westfield, if you're just joining us. Jake Valabera had the 2 rushing touchdowns early on for 1 yard and 2 yards. And we see the block punt late in the first quarter as House gets this carry again and picks up another first down. But again, there's a flag. It was Jake Dayan who picked up the block punt, returned it to the House, And then in the second quarter, Wandre House with the 47-yard rushing touchdown to put us at 27-0. One missed extra point by the backup kicker, Aiden Bolin, who replaced the injured Mike Moriarty.
10 yards from the end zone run.
Moriarty, I believe he's not on the field right now, as you said earlier, Chris, still in the locker room. Actually has made his way back on the field, but not in uniform, with his right knee and right leg wrapped up. So he will not return today, as Martini, all the time in the world, finds his senior receiver, Jack Shirk, for the first down.
I'm like, the duo is back out at first completion today for Martini to Shirk. And Shirk was just having an unbelievable season, Mike. He has 556 yards receiving, 7 TDs, and 16.4 yards of reception. So that's just an outstanding statistic, Mike. And he's probably just going to get more as the year goes on.
Fresh set of downs for Westfield. And Martini finds Shirk again. Breaks a tackle for a gain of about 8 yards.
Great block there from Adam McDaniel. Got down low. He got hit a little bit hard, but still, that was a great block. Got Shirk the first down, and Westfield's rolling on this drive, Mike, with 6 minutes to go left in the first half.
Yeah, my mistake there. First down for Westfield. Ball on the 22. Westfield just trying to add on to this lead as the fullback, senior Jacob Kaplan, gets the carry and runs downhill for another Westfield first down.
Manning there on the tackle, a gain of 12 on the play. And a Westfield first down. First and goal.
Ball at the 9 to make it first and goal. Facillo and Shirk, receivers on the far side. McDaniel on the near side. Dombrowski lined up as well. Martini goes to Shirk for a touchdown. 33-0. The rout continues today at Gary Keller Stadium. Westfield showing no mercy to this Bayonne team. And it's safe to say they punched their ticket to the semifinal next week, a date with the Union Farmers right here at Keller.
Yeah, Mike. Martini finds one of his favorite targets, Jack Shirk. Little wide receiver screen, Mike. Great block by Dombrowski on the outside. And Shirk, he gets tackled around the 1 yard line, but reaches out, extends fully, gets him the touchdown, and Westfield is up 34-0 with a PAT from Aiden Boland right there with 5:18 left in the first half. And Mike, as you said before, they can basically punch their ticket into the next week's semifinal.
Good work from Aiden Boland, who missed that first one, but has made the past 3 extra points and done a good job on the kickoffs. He'll be Westfield's full-time punter and kicker next year.
Yeah, Mike.
As a senior, when Dombrowski and Moriarty graduate this year. 34-0. Still 5 minutes left in the first half. So we'll definitely see some backups later on this afternoon. Probably see Jacob Salzer, the sophomore backup quarterback. And I think, Chris, next week we could see the first, I guess second, if you consider the Elizabeth one competitive, first or second, either way you look at it, competitive matchup with Union returning here to Keller, and hopefully they could put up a fight.
But Mike,
as that kick is muffed, but he picks it back up and met at the 25. Nasir McNair almost made things a lot worse as he muffed that kick. If Westfield picked it up, could have been very bad. Bayonne will start this possession at their own 26. In the wing T formation. First time we've seen this formation all year from an opposing team. And nowhere to go. Shea Elliott, the first one there.
Up the middle, Elliott there on the tackle. Jacob and Marr there as well.
This Westfield defense just been so dominant, Chris, this entire year.
Yeah, Mike, as I stated before, the most points they've given up in a game is between 14 and 21. I'm not sure about the specific score.
21.
21?
Against Ridge in the second game.
And one of those touchdowns, Mike, was again in garbage time. So the starting Westfield unit is just getting the job done left and right. Not really a crazy difficult opponent this season. You can consider Elizabeth only beating them 13-7. But they missed a few key defensive players in that game, Mike. And with all of them healthy, that's why they're up 34-0.
Marr on the tackle.
Nick Marr with the stop.
Short gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5 for Bayonne.
I'm like, it would be amazing if West could get a stop here, making 4th down, get the ball back, and get a 40 to 41-0 lead going into the half. That'll be their biggest all season. But right now, 34-0 is the season high for most points in a single half, Mike.
Well, we saw them really take it on against Watchung Hills, winning 40-14. I believe that one was actually 40-0 at the half.
Timeout, Bayonne.
As Bayonne takes a timeout with 3:31 left in the second quarter. All Westfield here from Keller as we step aside on Blue Devil Television.
He's in Westfield Town. He's in what? He's for the something. I don't know. I'll tell you later. He's in the what? In the what? He's what's it called?
Westfield Juniors.
He's a news guy. He's doing tap. Tap into Westfield.
Let's go.
Is he like a kid?
Yeah. He lives in Scotch Plains. All right. 3, 2, 1. 3rd and 5 for Bayonne here. Late in the second quarter, Bees trailing by 34.
And Mike, we see Jordan Simpson, a cornerback, and replacement for Adam McDaniel.
Looking deep down the field, and that pass is incomplete. As Ben Kelly laid a big hit on the intended receiver, Jason Whittle, who got his hands on it there. There is a flag down at the 42. We'll see as we wait this call. Even up 34, Martini still warming up with his receivers.
And Mike, that's the first time this season that Stevie Barton has been burned on defense.
That penalty was on Westfield, so it gives the Bees of Bayonne a first down to the 40-yard line. Couple of 2016 grads as McNair running on the far side picks up the first down. Couple of 2016 grads and state champions. Talking to the injured Mike Moriarty right there. Tom Morley and Tim Norris, both starters on the Westfield offensive line.
Yeah, Mike, it's probably good to be back in their old alma mater, watching their old football team beat up against Bayonne.
Be an interesting weekend next week as the 1 seed Bridgewater hosts the 5 seed Elizabeth. Elizabeth, not a bad football team at the 5 seed. They have some talent with Jamin Moose. Will stick with you here during this third and final timeout taken by Bayonne. And Westfield will host the 6 seed Union. And Chris, the players were actually really happy that Union beat Ridge, because Ridge gave Westfield a little bit of a test earlier in the season, but they cruised against Union. That was a competitive one and a fun one. 34-31 in overtime. The Red Devils of Ridge fall to the Farmers of Union. So that's next Saturday, the 19th, 1 o'clock here at Keller. And then the week after, on Thursday, the annual Thanksgiving game between Westfield Plainfield. Always a fun time. And then the week after is the state title, where this Westfield team expects to be. Definitely going to be a big game next week. A lot of stakes, high stakes on the line. And that state championship either going to be Thursday, the December 1st, Friday the 2nd, or Saturday the 3rd, as Davia gets the carry and another flag comes out. Just, you can tell, Chris, this team right now just not motivated for Bayonne. Lost a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, as for all their seniors, their high school football career coming to an end now. And that was a hold on Bayonne. Just brings them back 10 yards. Makes it 1st and 21, under 3 minutes to go in the half. McNair running again on the design run, and Jordan Simpson comes up with a big hit. The sophomore just came in there and he beat up McNair.
Yeah, Mike Jordan.
Good tackle.
The sophomore showing what he's got, potential starter for next season or backup. We haven't seen him get too much playing time this year, Mike. But Westfield leading 34-0 with a minute 50 to go for the half. Probably going to see him and a few more secondary players come into the game. But that was just overall a great hit. They got the Westfield sideline pumped up along with the crowd.
2nd and long for Nasir McNair. Add the wing T in motion. And Jake Val into the backfield with the sack. Ball comes out at the end, but they'll say he was down.
Mike Jake Val getting it done on all cylinders today. Already 2 rushing touchdowns, and right there a sack. Next season, we know he's probably going to be a potential captain. He's been starting since sophomore year, and he's just having one heck of a day.
Third and 22, and if you're Bayonne here, Chris, you want to be conservative. You don't want to have a turnover and make things even worse.
Yeah, Mike, it's already about a 3rd and
22.
22, jeez. You know, if Bayonne screws up again, it'll be even deeper, and Westfield's already blocked 1 punt already this game. Probably trying to get another opportunity to score.
Chris Benavides checks in for Bayonne. Junior wide receiver at 5'9", 155. Normal formation now for Bayonne with 4 receivers split. And McNair under pressure. Kyle Dombrowski with the hit, and McNair just gets rid of it in time to force a Bayonne punt.
4th and 22.
And Mike, there's a flag far sideline at about the 40.
There's a flag on the play.
As you said earlier, Chris, long first half here.
And that's an intentional grounding call, Mike.
Just brings Bayonne back more. Makes this punt longer
And we see Emmett
for the sophomore who's been very, very busy today, Sandro Rodriguez.
We see Emmett Smith back there for Jack Shirk. We've seen Smith back there a few times this season when the Westfield's racking up the scoreboard again this time around. And Smith is positioned at about Westfield's 45-yard line. So if he can get one and break a little bit, Westfield will get into their own territory with an estimated 20 seconds remaining in the first half.
Emmett Smith awaits the return. Kick was almost blocked, but it's going to be roughing the kicker. So this return won't count, only gain of a few. And that should be taunting right there on number 50. Rashid Ko just made the tackle on Smith and then just walked over him. But instead it was roughing the kicker, believe on Kessler, who was trying to block that.
Yeah, Mike, extended right there. If he pulled back, he probably wouldn't have gotten called for it, but he went all out there trying to block. He was a few inches away from it.
That is an automatic first down for Bayonne. Doesn't really do much, though, with 22 seconds. They'll probably just either run it, go to the locker room, or take a knee.
And Mike, today I've seen a few scouts from Union. We know with the big game coming up next week, we're probably going to see a few of them here today, checking out their competition for next week. But Mike, going back to the game,
I'm sure Westfield's had some last night in Ridge. That's sort of the benefit of not playing on the day where everyone else is playing. All 3 quarterfinal playoff games were held last night. This is the only one in the afternoon because no lights here at Keller. Low kick. Smith off the bounce and just lets it go. And that was not in high school, not an automatic first down. It was my mistake. A 15-yard penalty. In most cases a first down, but not when it's 4th and 22.
And Mike, we'll probably see here Phil Martini's take a knee. Only 9 seconds left. Don't want to do too much. Don't want to cause another fiasco out there. They want to keep all their players healthy going into the locker room. We already lost Mike Moriarty to injury. We don't want to lose another one.
Yeah, and Moriarty, we know he's not going to return today, but Westfield really is going to need him because he already lost Ish Glasgow, Matt Verano, as Martini takes a knee. And Chris, all Westfield here in the first half. If you're Coach Usarno right now, how proud are you of this football team?
Mike, if I was Coach Usarno, I'd be extremely proud. Both sides of the ball, offense and defense, including special teams unit, have been doing an outstanding job. Defense has allowed 0 points in the first half. Their offense, 34 points in the first half. And their special teams already has 1 block kick and a touchdown. Coach Usarno is probably ecstatic out there, Mike.
34-0 at the half, all Westfield. And the Blue Devils looking ahead to next week where they'll take on Union in the semifinal. Second half of Westfield and Bayonne coming right up here on BDTV. You're watching Mid-State 38 football on Blue Devils television. Welcome back here to Westfield, everybody. The Blue Devils up 34-0 in the first round of the Group 5 North 2 NJSIAA state playoffs. Michael Lair alongside Alex Kingsley here for the second half. And Alex, just a tale of this season, really. The Blue Devils get off to an early start, and they do not look back, basically putting Bayonne with no chance of winning this game about midway through the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean they were just relentless, not giving up, not putting in their backups, basically just getting the biggest lead they possibly could. And I think, as Chris alluded to before, this is one of the biggest leads they've had in the first half in a really long time. So I think we're going to see something different in the second half. I'm sorry. I think we're going to see the backups come in. I think we're going to see guys we don't see necessarily play, and we're just going to see what happens.
Stevie Barden will return it from the 10. Westfield, remember, deferred. Barden out to the 25. Looked like he stiff-armed the face mask there, but no call. So as this offense comes out for the opening drive of the second half, looks like the same starters out there for Phil Martini and his crew. Wandre House with a really impressive first half, capped off by a 47-yard rushing touchdown late in the second quarter.
Yeah, Mike, we haven't really seen him as much as I'm sure he'd like to be so far this season. But so far, every carry that he's gotten, he's put his best effort in, and has definitely played much better than I think anyone really expected him to play.
First game back for House after that broken collarbone. And they really need him with no Verano, no Glasgow now. And there's House again, sprinting up the middle, picks up about 6 yards.
Mike, it's almost like he's got those little legs, but they really don't stop. He's so far, that looked like a 5-6 yard gain. And, just carries like that really make a difference in the end.
Second and 4, Martini, pitch. There's House. And picks up the first down. Got to be careful, though, to hold on to that ball. So we saw him sort of carrying with one hand and then got hit and that whole arm moved. We saw him last year, actually, the Thanksgiving game we called, cough one up, but holds on to it there. Kaplan in the backfield, only seen him get one carry today. Shirk and Facillo, the receivers. And that one intended for Jack Shirk, wide open down the field. Just a little bit overthrown, and otherwise it would have been an easy touchdown.
Yeah, it was essentially a perfect spiral. If Shirk had only been there just another full step ahead, that would have been in his hands for a perfect touchdown pass. I think what we haven't seen necessarily lately is the deep passes from Martini. I think he needs to start getting used to that. Definitely I think as these playoffs are going to come to an end, he needs to develop the deep ball in a sense.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the first half. It's going to be a competitive game next week as Wandre House is met right there by Frain Davia III. Just leveled in the backfield for a loss of about 3.
Loss of 5 on the play, 3rd and 15.
Make it 5 to bring up 3rd and 15. Good play by that Bayonne front line. Now we see McDaniel check in. He's on the far side, number 20 in blue. Facillo in the slot, Shirk on the near side. And Dombrowski lined up as well. Martini fires to Dombrowski, and it's caught for a Westfield first down.
Yeah, definitely a big tight end. Yeah, I mean, you can almost kind of compare him like a Rob Gronkowski kind of guy. Big guy, hard to take down, fighting for every yard. And, I think we've talked about essentially every game. We don't really see him at the tight end position as much as we did necessarily last year. But, every time he gets the ball, he's always executing and doing it to his full potential.
There's a handoff to Kaplan, and he runs up the middle for a first down. And Alex, it seems like every time either we almost forget about him or the defense forgets about him, Kyle Dombrowski comes up with the first down catch.
Yeah, always executing on every play he can, making sure that he can do the best job he can, and that should really go for everybody on the team: running back, quarterback, receivers, linemen.
There's a screen of McDaniel. First down and more. McDaniel in the red zone. Down near the 10. Westfield offense is just cruising out here.
Mike, another great example of how this offense can really move and very quickly. And every play getting positive yards except for the Wandre House carry as the last time he had a carry. But, as you're saying, they're cruising, they're rolling right along, and I'm sure we're going to see a touchdown in this possession.
Kaplan is met quickly.
Kaplan carries. Gain of 2 down to the 10-yard line. Second and
8. Picked up 2 there, bring it to 2nd and 8. Phil Martini with 17 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing. No touchdowns today, though. Running to the right and fires. There's Kyle Dombrowski. Caught and brought down at the 1.
Again, getting the ball, almost stretched a touchdown out of that play, but didn't. Looks like he's down at the 1. But just another great example we were just talking about. Dombrowski, at every ball that he's getting, he's always doing something more than you think he would.
So it's Jacob Kaplan in the backfield. Shotgun for Westfield, 3 receivers to the left. Kaplan gets the carry, and he's into the end zone for his first touchdown.
Jacob Kaplan doing what he does best, just piling through that defensive line. He's no wonder he's considered a fullback. He is one big back, and in the end, he's going to put it in there for a touchdown.
Aiden Bolin out for the extra point. 3 of 4 on the afternoon. And make it 4 of 5. 41 zip, Westfield. Midway through this third quarter. As we get you our weekly Saturday afternoon college football scores around the country. Number 11, Oklahoma, up 35-10 against Baylor. Alabama, all over Mississippi State. Number 16, West Virginia, up against Texas, 17-13. Number 10, Penn State, losing to Indiana, 17-14. And Alex, your Duke Blue Devils upset number 17, North Carolina, on Thursday night. Not a lot of great games today. LSU, Arkansas, probably the best one at 7, number 24 and 25. Good kick from Bolin as this one's returned out to the 30. And Washington, USC, that's a good one tonight. Number 4, Huskies moving into the college football playoff. Top 4 taking on the Trojans. $7:45 left in the third, and it's 41-0 Westfield. Couple of backups into the game now for this Westfield defense. Mike Gagliardi's in the game. The senior linebacker, Russell Weber, in the game as McNair runs to the sideline for a few yards.
Yeah, I'm also seeing Sean Dwyer out there. I think he's at linebacker.
And Jordan Simpson, number 82, had that big tackle earlier.
Not saying a backup, but Colin Dabrowski also there at the D line. Sometimes you see him out there in a 3rd or 4th down situation.
Yeah, sort of that 5th man on the defensive front 4 for Westfield. And now we see backup quarterback, sophomore Jacob Saltzer warming up as McNair tries to make a couple moves, but really nowhere to go. Jeff Gagum, first one there on the stop, and along with Sean Dwyer.
Gain of 4 on the play, 3rd and 1.
Big Westfield 3rd down. 3rd and 1.
Third and 1 for Bayonne here. Been a rough afternoon for Nasir McNair and company. They keep it on the ground. This one's going to be close. I believe he got it. Sean Bell, the sophomore running back, on the carry. This Bayonne team took a huge hit, Alex, when their star running back, Alhanis Barrett, quit the team, had over 1,300 rushing yards on the season and 11 touchdowns. Also the team's leading receiver.
You don't come across guys like that too often, but I have to be honest, I don't even think he could have made a difference in this game. Let's just up 42-0. 4.5 minutes left in this 3rd quarter.
That pass is caught. And ball comes out at the end. Westfield has it. Jordan Simpson, the recovery. Jason Whittle made the nice catch, but he couldn't hold on, and Simpson on the return.
Never mind.
So Saltzer now in to lead this Westfield offense. He's a sophomore. And the carry to, I believe, Anthony DeBella, and he's met quickly. Flag in the backfield, probably going to be a hold. Tommy Norris also in the backfield for Westfield, along with Ian Humphrey and at receiver and Peyton Schlewitt. Noah Levy and Luke Bigazinski on that offensive line now for Westfield as they bring in the JV roster. They stay on the ground to DeBella. So the receivers are junior Jason Cassett, junior Peyton Schlewitt, and senior Ian Humphrey. Chris Colhane also in the game at the O-line. The sophomores right now are Noah Levy, Luke Bigazinski, Tommy Norris, and the quarterback Salzer, and one senior in Humphrey. We saw Facillo get some time today. Salzer running and finds Tommy Norris for the catch.
To Tommy Norris. Salter to Norris. Gain of 7 on the play, 3rd and 3.
Norris is a big man out there at sophomore.
I'm also seeing Isaac Montez there in the offensive line.
DeBella gets brought down quickly there.
By Manning. We're going up 4th down.
Fourth and 3 now for this offense as the backups can't get much going, so Bolin will come out to punt. Dombrowski did not punt at all today, so they just let Bolin come out here. Excuse me.
Yeah, you know, Mike, I think
Good punt from Aiden Bolin. Fair caught and muffed, and Westfield falls on top of it.
Poland's punt is fumbled.
Well, I think it's definitely smart of the Western coaches. You know, even though Moriarty is out and there's still Dombrowski to the punt, a good experience for Aiden. Get punting experience. We know next year neither of them are going to be there, and he's going to need the practice for next year.
Adam McDaniel falls on top of it. Just a poor and miscommunication right there from Bayonne. It's been a long afternoon for the Bees. And now they get to take over at the 16. Jacob Salzer has got Cassett on the far side. And as this play is blown dead. Jack Garris also in the game. As the third quarter comes to an end here in Westfield, the Blue Devils up 41-0. We see the fullback Jacob Kaplan get a touchdown, and then a muff punt. The Blue Devils recover. Stay with us here. Fourth quarter coming right up on BDTV. Offense taking over on 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Jack Garris gets the carry on the misdirection, but he's quickly brought down. Garris only a sophomore.
You know, Mike, it's interesting. I actually have him listed here as a wide receiver, but it looked like he got carried there.
A lot louder today with the band. They've been loud all game. Supporting the Blue Devils. They've only been to a few games this year, actually. Cheerleaders much more dedicated at every game. And DeBella gets the carry. And it's a good one as gets a nice push from the O-line for a first down, but there's a late flag in the backfield. DeBella had some nice carries against Immaculata and last week against Scotch Plains. We have not seen at all today Stevie Barden at running back. We saw him a lot last week, and Valabert has developed into a short yardage goal line situation running back. And as a result, he's only got about 15, 20 yards the past 2 weeks, but he has 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So if you're playing fantasy high school football, he's been good to you.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost like a guaranteed to get you at least 1 or 2 yards. He's such a big kid. And when he usually plays defensive lineman and then you put him at running back, I mean, he's almost like an unstoppable freight train. Big kid, you know, will able to
and he just
avoid
gets
tackles, and he's just, yeah, I'm going to reiterate, he's so big.
Gets into that end zone easily. Salzer pitch. DeBella fights through, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Anthony DeBella. Everyone getting involved this afternoon for Westfield to make it 47-0. First touchdown on varsity for Anthony DeBella.
Definitely a confidence booster for him going into the next few games if he gets carries, and certainly for next year. You know, they're going to need Wandre House, Stevie Barton. They're going to need Anthony DeBella, guys like this, to carry the team next year.
Aiden Boland's kick is good. 48-0. Westfield's biggest win now, by far. Beat Watchung Hills 40-14. And then last week, beating Scotch Plains 46-7. Up 48-0. And now we've penciled in Westfield to move on and take on Union. It's a really nice Final Four set up in Group 5 North 2 with Bridgewater taking on Elizabeth and Westfield taking on Union. And most likely, the Panthers and Blue Devils will meet up for the rematch at MetLife Stadium in a couple weeks. That'll be an awesome experience.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was awesome not only to just go to the stadium, but for the team to win it. I mean, you couldn't have dreamed anything even better than that.
McNair on the return again on the far side, and he makes a good one out to the 44.
Kick is returned out to the 46-yard line. Isaiah Reese forces him out of bounds.
The students, Alex, didn't really come out today and show their support, but the whole town really did. These main bleachers, main grandstand all filled up. Nice atmosphere as always. Should be a huge game next week. Remember last time they played Union here just a couple weeks ago, had 3 different telecasts with FiOS 1 and News 12. Probably be similar situation next week. After the misdirection, they give it up to Davia, and he's brought down. Mike Gagliardi, a fan favorite here. The senior comes up with a stop. Involved in the program as so many of these players all 4 years. Always nice to get in there, get an opportunity, and come up with a nice play.
You know, I know he's a workhorse out there. You know, he's not the best of the best, but he'll certainly work to get there as he makes the big play there.
And Salter warming up with Schlewitt. Could be Westfield's future quarterback next season. McNair tries to break free, but unable to do so. San Giacomo comes up with a nice stop for a loss of about a yard or 2. Third and 11 for the Bees. Led by head coach Jason Acera. They're going to fall to 4 and 6, and it's going to end their season today. So definitely a disappointing way for these seniors to finish their football career, losing in a absolute rout. But they've kept their starters in. The lefty quarterback McNair rolling to his right just makes it that much more difficult and throws it away incomplete.
Now, ball the marching band, now the cheer squad getting into it. You know, might be 48-0, but this fan base here will not stop.
4th and 11 for Bayonne, so Sandro Rodriguez will come out yet again to punt this thing away. It's Emmett Smith backpedaling, makes the catch at the 30, and picks up 5 yards. Number 22, Chris Benavides on the stop. Under 6.5 in that clock running left in this one. Westfield improves to 9-0 and now 22 wins in a row, dating back to 2014 Thanksgiving game, a game that Westfield won in overtime. It was the Mud Bowl. Jack Currier Jr. at the time had the game-winning rushing touchdown in OT in the snow. But sets up a big matchup. There's going to be a lot of hype, Alex, surrounding next Saturday as the Blue Devils welcome back the Farmers into town. Flag as this play is blown dead. Tommy DeRosa is in the game now as the running back. And it'll be 1st and 5 after Bayonne's offsides. Blue Devils beat the Farmers 28-13 back on October the 8th. And it was actually 28-7 really, but Union got a late touchdown, didn't really do much, so Westfield really took care of business. That was a game where they were supposed to be given a fight. Didn't really happen. Aside from the Elizabeth game, Westfield's basically taken care of business and blown everybody out.
Yeah, I mean, usually in general, 28-13, that's not very close, but as you just sort of mentioned, that's close for Westfield because they've been usually taking games very easily, winning by great margins. But, you know, like you said, they put up somewhat of a fight, and it's certainly going to be interesting here in playoff time because, you know, postseason is much different from the regular season. Maybe we're going to see Tverdov, the Rutgers commit on their D-line, really do something because we know the Westfield offense that offensive line kind of shut him down. We know Jordan Barham played exceptionally well against him matchup-wise, and I think it should be just a really good game to watch.
So Tommy DeRosa picks up the 1st down, gets another carry, and good run, 1st down and more into B territory. Down near the 32. Good run from DeRosa. And around Keller today, you see the portable lights. Now, Westfield's actually been practicing under the lights the past week or so, but as everyone knows, no lights here at Keller. They've always been trying to add them, and residents nearby complain. But they have been practicing, but these lights aren't the lights we're really looking for. As a lot of guys have told me, they don't work that well. It makes it very tough to see for practice.
Well, I know, Mike, this is kind of a stretch to say, but like I think building lights would make a much bigger difference in all their sports programs. Just think about it. A lot more practice time for not just football, but every single sport that comes here. Soccer, lacrosse, field hockey.
And it would make just an incredible atmosphere for a Friday night game.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it could also be used just constantly between, you know, younger sports, just recreationally for the town.
DeRosa, another carry. Another 1st down for Westfield. Three receivers for Westfield, and they'll just continue on the ground with Tommy DeRosa. Only a sophomore, again, majority of the carries on probably the final possession, final drive of this game.
You know, Mike,
2 minutes now remaining.
You know, Mike, just looking at him, Tommy DeRosa, on paper it says he's 5'9", 165, but he looks a lot bigger out there. Shoulder pads look big. You know, definitely.
Yeah, I noticed Tommy Norris, excuse me. He looks pretty big out there at backup tight end and fullback. DeRosa again up the middle for another first down.
And not only
so maybe we see him get in the end zone late here.
And not only do they look big, but they're definitely performing at the level that they look like they should be playing at. Tommy DeRosa, big guy, almost looked like he could play a fullback position, maybe take after what Kaplan was doing this year. You know, I don't know. It's gonna be certainly interesting next year what coach is gonna do. You know, just positioning wise. You know, a lot of seniors playing this year. Got to replace a lot of positions. There are gonna be a lot of guys on JV who are possibly even gonna have to start.
DeRosa gets the carry up the middle again and down inside the 5.
DeRosa carries. Tackled there by Macklin. Second and goal.
No. Oh, this one. So second and goal here for Westfield. Salter leading the way with Tommy DeRosa, and they're actually just going to sit and take a knee.
And that's the end of the game.
This clock winds down to 1. Blue Devils are going to do it.
So Westfield takes care of business. Here, final score is 48-0. All around, just a great performance. We see Jake Val early on, 2 quick touchdowns. Then Owen Kessler comes up with a huge block punt. And then Jake Dayan recovers, takes it to the house. 20-0 at the end of the first quarter. Then Wandre House comes in, does a great job, long rushing touchdown. Jack Shirk with a nice screen. Touchdown. Jacob Kaplan gets in the end zone. Phil Martini actually was held without a TD. But just a great afternoon. Westfield taking care of business. And Alex, Coach Sarno and this fan base couldn't have asked for anything more.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, like I was saying before at the beginning of the second half, these guys just played relentless. You know, not stopping, not showing up any mercy to this Bayonne team. I think they just want to look the best and do the best that they can going into the playoffs. You know, it's one thing to kind of not try as hard, bring in your back pups just to keep you guys healthy, but it's another thing to get them out there, but make sure that the guys in the first half do the best that they can to prepare for the upcoming weeks. You know, I think, like I said, they played relentless out there. If they keep playing the way they played today, I don't see them losing another game, and I think they can win another state championship.
So Westfield improves to 9-0 on the season, make the win streak 22 games now, and they'll probably move up from where they're at right now, 12th in the state. And it sets up the rematch, Westfield Union. Next Saturday, we'll do it all over again, 1 o'clock, right here at Keller on BDTV, and a big one Friday night, Bridgewater Elizabeth. From our entire crew today, our cameraman Chris Calamano, Chris Witzel, Alex Kingsley, I'm Michael Lenniart saying so long for Westfield. Blue Devils take care of the Bees of Bayonne, 48-0.